Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Pain Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
This is Charlie. Half of his breakfast always ends up on the floor. And he leaves fur everywhere. That's why I grabbed the Bissell Power Clean Fur Finder. It's cordless, powerful, and actually finds fur you don't even see. Learn more at Bissell.com.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Attention Ditto Heads. Attention Bo Scouts.
Goes by the pseudonym Bo Snerdley.
It's time for the soul of excellence.
He is a radio host here in New York.
The Rush Hour is on the air.
Rush.
Now here's James Golden.
What you did. Madam Secretary, you and the gentleman from NCTC reference the unfortunate accident that occurred with the National Guardsman being killed.
You think that was an unfortunate accident?
I mean,
it was a terrorist attack.
Wait. Look, I'll get it straight. Then you can
He shot our National Guardsman in the head.
Look, Mr. Chairman, will you direct the witness to allow me to ask my question? It was an unfortunate situation.
The unfortunate accident. Look, Mr. Chairman, would you ask the witness? Would you ask the witness to answer my question? That is the Honorable the Representative Bernie Thompson from Mississippi. Would you ask the witness, Mr. Chairman? Would you ask the witness? Would you ask the witness to answer my question? Yeah, we had unfortunate accident. Oh, and that man killed two national. It was unfortunate accident. No. I'll get it right. He, of course, was the ringleader along with Pelosi on the J6 committee that destroyed evidence. We'll never hear a word about that anymore. With the January 6th committee that went after Trump. And that's Bernie Thompson. This morning with Secretary Noem, she got a dress down from Democrats who just wanted to vent their anger at her, and did they spew. I don't have much of it because it's really insignificant. Welcome, my friends, to the Thursday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour, fastest hour in American media. Scheduling change. We were going to have Princess Diana with us today. We had to make an adjustment to that. An emergency came up in scheduling, so we will, of course, look forward to speaking with Princess Diana. Maybe tomorrow, but definitely Saturday if her schedule works out. So, looking forward to that. A few things. Healthcare in the news, and I was going to lead with something that I thought was so brilliant, and then I saw a video from John Fetterman, and he said what I was going to say. So. Anyway, they held a vote, and here's the headline from the New York Times. Trump administration live updates. Affordable Care Act subsidies left to expire after Senate deadlocks. Oh no, it happened. Oh no, they let it deadlock. Oh no. Healthcare deadlock. They have this under that angle. Where things stand. Healthcare deadlock. The Senate failed to advance either the Democratic or Republican proposal to avert rising healthcare premiums on Thursday, making it all but certain that expanded Affordable Act subsidies will expire at the end of the month. 4 Republicans joined Democrats in backing a 3-year extension of the subsidies, but the plan fell short of the threshold to overcome a filibuster. Now, see, aren't some of you glad the filibuster is still there today for this? Republicans likewise failed to advance their plan to replace the subsidies with an expansion of health savings accounts and direct payments to people who buy the most basic plans. So, what does that all mean? It means, well, number one, I think it might, so many things I want to say. Let me back up first. I predicted earlier in the week, for those of you that remember and recall, I predicted earlier in the week that what transpired today would transpire. That both plans would be voted on in the Senate and that both plans would fail. So this comes as no surprise. Not one surprise at all. Now, prior to the plans coming up for a vote, some things happened. The Democrats were out all over social media. And I'm going to interrupt these. I just want you to hear because it's lame, I'm going to interrupt them as they go along. Cory Booker, GQ. Yeah, well, I mean, he's he got married. He had 2 marriage ceremonies. I don't know why one wouldn't do, but why?
I don't care.
Oh, Carlos doesn't care that Cory Booker got married. Cory Booker, cut 7. This was Cory Booker. Always has some.
It's laid plain today. You see the Republicans, the way they want to go. And you see who's going to stand up and fight for Americans' health care. That's what's on the line. The Affordable Care Act needs a lot of improvement. Health care in America needs a lot of improvement. But what they are doing is taking a battle axe to Americans' affordability, to Americans' ability to afford their health care. I'm going to tell you right now, we are going to fight for you. This is a battle line.
Okay, let's just stop it right here. They're not fighting for you. And anybody that thinks Democrats are fighting for you, you're nuts. They're fighting for themselves. They're fighting to make sure that their insurance company donors, the big insurance company that rakes in billions and billions and billions and more billions of dollars on this scam called Obamacare, will continue to get the billions of dollars. Why do they care that insurance companies get the billions of dollars? Because then insurance companies donate heavily toward their campaign, toward their Senate campaigns and toward their House campaigns. And that money is used to battle Republicans, and that money is used for them to stay in office. That's who they are fighting for. And we learned, Dr. Peter Miklos was on the line with us Saturday. One of the things he revealed to those of us that don't know the inner and outer workings of Obamacare is this. They put the premiums real high. So let's say you buy an Obama premium, you buy the plan. So they give you, in some cases, a $7,000 upfront premium. Now, a lot of people look at those numbers. I don't care what 3, 4, 5,000, 6,000. For a lot of people, those numbers, whatever they are out of reach. They're not going to spend that much if they're fairly healthy. They're not going to spend that much during a year in healthcare stuff. Now, they may need $1,000, $2,000. Something happens. They may need to go and dip in, but average, they're not going to spend that. So what happens? The subsidies that are awarded to them, those tax credits, they go to the insurance company anyway, whether people are using the plan or not. And that's one of the reasons the insurance companies are scoring all these billions of dollars off you, in some cases for doing absolutely nothing. Not that they do anything anyway, except say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, screw you, screw what you need. It's not cost efficient for the insurance companies because we need to make bigger profits. So, we're fighting for you. Now, there is a grain of truth in something that another Democrat say, and I want you to listen very, 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 like really closely. Like pull up to the radio, baby. You know, Grace Jones used to have a song, "Pull Up to My Bumper, Baby," and I always wondered which bumper she was talking about, but that's another story. Anyway, Patty Murray, cut 6. Listen very, very carefully, because in this cut, she inadvertently or advertently reveals some truth.
Democrats will also keep sharing a vision for how we do rebuild a stronger healthcare system after this Republican wreckage. Because as much as we want to save these health tax credits, I think everyone knows that is a starting point. It is a bare minimum. We still need universal health care in America. We have needed it for a very long time. It is what I've always been fighting for. And whatever happens in the next few days, I'm going to keep pushing for reforms that make high-quality health care that's actually affordable a reality for every American.
So many things in that. Number one, she's acknowledging that health care isn't affordable, but yet she's blaming the Republicans for a wreckage. What wreckage? The Democrats came up with Obamacare by themselves, no Republican vote. What about these subsidies? The Democrats came up with the subsidies. Now, what have Republicans come up with? Well, so far they came up with some little plan that was voted down today to put some money in some health savings accounts. Not much money, frankly, but enough to fund some health savings accounts, and that plan failed. But did you hear the truth? That's a universal health care. That's what we've needed for a long time. They knew it when they did Obamacare, that this wasn't the answer. The Democrats, and she just put it out there, they've always wanted universal health care. Scrap everything. If they had their way, they'd scrap it all. They'd scrap Medicare, Medicaid, that SHIP program. I have to be very careful how I pronounce that. So that it's the SHIP program, which is for more money for kids, even though they're supposedly taken care of in Medicaid. And then you've got a gazillion other plans that the federal government gives money to, like Medi-Cal in California, which is costing so much money because they fund illegal immigrants, and all these other blue cities. So you got this barrage of plans all sucking up billions of dollars. And the Democrats have always wanted to scrap all that crap and just have the government pay for everything. Like they're almost paying for everything now. Anyway, that's the truth. We have to break. There is more. James Golden, Snerdley, keep it right here. Don't go away.
Rush. This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Snerdley.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush.
So, this nation was founded by killers who slaughtered 90% of the indigenous people, leeches who glommed off of the indigenous who taught them how to survive in the wilderness and then murdered them as their things and then took all their land. And you want to talk about entitlement, they felt entitled to own other people and they didn't even want to pay taxes on it. So they decided to have a whole war with Britain.
That, of course, that's making the rounds. It's not new. That's Joy Reid, who we are searching high and low. Carlos alerted me to this, very diligent of him, that Joy Reid has gone on a Christmas time rant that Jingle Bells, the song Jingle Bells that is sung during this holiday season, is a racist song. We are searching for the audio of that. There are many news stories about it. She said it. If she said it in somewhere where it was recorded, we'll find it and bring it to you before the holiday season is over. But for some good holiday cheer, let us remember that coming December 20th, it's home for the holidays with Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno. Get ready to slay your night away with live performances, ugly sweaters, and the jolliest of jolly friends. It's Mr. Christmas, Vinny Medugno, singing your holiday favorites. Live in concert December 20th. For more information and tickets, you can go to homefortheholidays2025.com. And you'll find more information there. While we're talking holiday, let me also remind you of something else, my friends. You can join Red Apple Network's AARP New York City, the Police Athletic League, Gristetes D'Agostino Supermarkets, and Nationwide Imaging Services as we deliver holiday meals to more than 5,000 people across New York City. Go to RedAppleAudioNetworks.com/turkey. This holiday season, help the Red Apple Audio Networks feed those in need. Your donation helps put a meal on the table of a family in need. That's RedAppleAudioNetworks.turkey. Jasmine Crockett is all over the news. People are finding everything. She dared people to come up with clips of Democrats supporting violence. They are being flooded now. They're like, okay, we'll take the Jasmine Challenge, and people are just posting all kind of clips in certain social media forms with Democrats urging on violence and activity. We also have Jasmine Crockett saying, and this is an oldie, but it's resurfacing too, that she likes the idea of ending taxes for black people in America because they're black. They're black. They're black. This is going to be a fun race in Texas, I tell you that. Folks, Fastest Hour in Media continues, so whatever you do, stick around, don't go away. We've got so much more to do.
The Rush Hour with James Golden, entertaining and informative on the Red Apple Podcast Network.
James Golden, known popularly as Bo Snerdley.
This is The Rush Hour with James Golden.
Rush. One other thing, there is a debate, of course, within your party about how to get back into power. We're now seeing this play out actually in Texas, where progressive firebrand Jasmine Crockett is running in the Democratic Senate primary there. Is she the kind of candidate that the party should get behind to take back the Senate?
Sure, she's new. You know what we don't need? We don't need 1990s or 2000 folks leading us into the future. We need a new generation. We need the old guard to step aside. We need a new generation who understand modern technology, who understand the issues of the base, and Jasmine is certainly one of those people.
So you'll
and I
support
think
her?
she's going to do very well.
You'll support her?
I support her. I've worked with her. I support her.
Just this past week, I saw, I don't remember which celebrity, but it was actually a celebrity, and I was like, I don't know that that's not necessarily a bad idea, but I'd have to think through it a lot. One of the things that they propose is black folk not have to pay taxes for a certain amount of time, because then again, that puts money back in your pocket, but at the same time, it may not be as objectionable to some people about actually giving out dollars. But obviously then you start dealing with the different tax brackets and things like that. And that's one of the reasons that, you know, we argue the reparations make sense, because so many black folk, not only do you owe for the labor that was stolen and killed and all the other things, right? But the fact is, like, we end up being so far behind, right? And so it's like, how do you bring forth people? Exactly. And so it's like, if you do the no tax thing for people that are already, say, struggling and aren't really paying taxes in the first place, it doesn't really exactly.
They may want those checks like they got.
Exactly.
Yeah, the face of that was Ro Khanna, by the way. The new face of the new wig of the Democrat Party should be Jasmine Crockett. James Golden, Snerdley. Okay, one of the things that I said in the week, I said it was designed, this healthcare thing, and then I want to move to immigration, was designed to fail. And by the way, it is also rife with fraud. But outside of Congress today, Senator John Fetterman spoke about the vote where both of these plans were voted down, and this is what Senator Fetterman had to say.
I'm in Washington, D.C., obviously, and I just voted no on the GOP version, and I voted yes on the Democratic version to extend the tax credits for 3 years. Of course, that would be ideally, but both of these bills were designed to fail, and I don't think it's really productive to have votes that are guaranteed to fail. You know, that's why I continue to call for a clean 1-year extension on this. This is the one way that we could truly deliver real affordability on health care, and that would allow both parties to work it out over next week and make all the kinds of changes through those negotiations. But right now, things are designed to fail. That doesn't help anybody, and it's just more than a bunch of empty political posturing. I'm here to vote for real relief. And that's what I'm hopeful that we can finally do that next week.
And don't be surprised, by the way, if neither party wants to go home with nothing, if that won't be the compromise, that it's a 1-year deal to extend these while supposedly they work it out. And that 1 year would be up near Christmas time next year. So then we'd get a government shutdown threat next year. We need to flag this because this may come to happen. Carlos, we need to actually put a flag on this segment of our show today. If there is a 1-year deal on Obamacare subsidies, what will happen is that next year, this time, they will be running out. Democrats, depending or not on whether they have lost or won the midterm elections, if they have lost the midterm elections and Republicans still own the control of the House, Democrats will call for a shutdown of government unless the subsidies are extended in some manner or form. That is my prediction from what will happen a year from now if this week they're able to come up with an extension. Now, James Lankford from Oklahoma, who I will never forgive for being duped and being used as a dupe on Biden's immigration policy. He's one of the gang of 8 that came up with this so-called immigration policy that was just disastrous. But anyway, on Obamacare, he's more to the point. This is cut 8, Mr. Lankford.
In my state in Oklahoma, we asked our insurance commissioner, take a 6-year snapshot and tell us what's happened in the marketplace, the Obamacare marketplace, without the subsidies. If the subsidies went away, what was the increase? And for the commercial insurance from my state, what changed during that time period? For Obamacare, the rates have gone up 198% in 6 years. In commercial insurance in my state, it's gone up 29%. Apples to apples comparison. There's a very real problem with the structure of how Obamacare actually works. And the request has been, let's just put more subsidies on top of it, more subsidies on top of it, add billions and billions more in taxpayer dollars to cover up the problem that is underneath. There is a problem in the way that Obamacare is actually created and how it's actually operating and what it's causing, not just for that group in the marketplace, but what it's causing for everybody else, even people that are not in the marketplace at all, how that's driving up rates.
Okay, enough there. Here's the deal. Let me just put this in everyday language. If you have regular insurance outside of Obamacare, over the last 6 years, your insurance rates went up 29%. That ain't great, but it's not what Obamacare did. Obamacare went up almost 200% over the last 6 years. And again, where does that money end up? A lot of that money ends up in the hands of big insurance. That's why their stocks went up. That's why so much anger has been directed at insurance companies. And where did the money go once it got to the insurance companies? Some of it went back to the Democrat Party. As a thank you, please, more of this under their plan that they put together themselves and concocted themselves that they want to blame Republicans for. Okay, Mike Johnson, really quick, Capitol Hill this morning. Yes, Carlos. Question from
Carlos.
Carlos.
Shot, but are you playing the Democrats for the death of the United Healthcare CEO?
Oh. Interesting question. I blame the shooter who is now on trial. You don't take anybody's life. Now, do I blame Democrats for the anger that people feel toward insurance companies? 100% they are responsible for a rise in anger. People have never been happy with insurance companies, but this rise of anger over healthcare, and healthcare people, while they're making billions and billions of dollars in profit, denying people and making people jump through hoops to get decent coverage when they're, in some cases, deathly sick. Oh, yeah, that has increased. And a lot of that has come fueled by this Obamacare, which is outrageous. So I'm blaming them for setting the climate for the anger that people have toward insurance companies so that they can get their good campaign donations and stay in power. They use anything. They use immigration. Okay, Speaker Johnson, cut 9. And this is the Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Ability Office, which I haven't seen too much written about yet. You should look into that. It is an eye-opener as well. It makes clear why it would be a dereliction of duty to just extend subsidies without massive reforms to them. Okay, over the last 2 years, this is investigators at the Government Accountability Office. Okay, they submitted 24 fraudulent applications for the ACA subsidies, the Unaffordable Care Act subsidies, Obamacare. Okay, of the 24 fraudulent applications that they created intentionally to just see what would happen, 23 of them were approved. These applications were completely fraudulent. The investigators did not submit any Social Security numbers, citizenship documentation, or reported income documents. And 23 of the 24 applications were still approved. 18 of those, by the way, are still receiving coverages. They were as of September of this year. That means the Obamacare exchange and insurers didn't verify any of the information they're supposed to under the law, and they proceeded to pay tens of thousands of dollars to insurance companies for people who do not exist. Okay? The GAO report also found that 29,000 Social Security numbers in 2023 and 68,000 in 2024 were used to receive more than 1 year's worth of insurance coverage. In other words, multiple people were utilizing the same Social Security numbers to openly defraud the American taxpayers. The GAO also found that more than $94 million was sent to insurers on behalf of dead people. Okay? This is the system.
Okay, let's stop there.
Democrats.
For those of you not following all this political verbal speak, the Government Accountability Office, that's the GAO. It's an agency of government. They're supposed to be like doing heavy doge work, rooting out the fraud. They said, let's do a test. Let's create 24 bogus applications for Obamacare and submit them. They did. They didn't have any Social Security numbers on it. They didn't have any citizenship questions. Are you a citizenship? So it could have been any illegal, whatever. Out of the 24 that they sent in, 23 were accepted that should have been immediately kicked out. And they're still paying on some of them, supposedly. Then you have 68,000 Social Security numbers that are put in and used over and over again by different people to access Obamacare. More fraud. And then you have 94 million people, $94 million spent on dead folks accessing Obamacare. And these people want to tell you that everything's hunky-dory with this? All right, let's move. Louisiana. 2 things. This is tight. Here's a leftist down in Louisiana. And this, boy, I tell you what, cut 2, let's just roll right into it.
I don't think many people understand the severity of what's going on in Louisiana right now. So many people are continuing to shelter in place since Operation Catahoula Crunch began. One of the organizations here told me that in just 2 days, the last 2 days, more than 800 people have requested food assistance. This is just in the last 2 days. This operation has been going on for about a week. Many people, possibly thousands of people, are running out of food. They're running out of formula for their babies. And eventually, the people that are avoiding even going out to work are not going to be able to pay their rent or their bills. This morning, there was a press conference. Religious leaders and other community leaders got together and spoke about the needs of the community right now. And they're also demanding that this collaboration between the state and Border Patrol and between federal immigration agencies in general just stops. I have to say I'm so grateful for so many people.
Okay, she goes on and on. I can play the whole thing Saturday. They're upset down there. J.D. Vance posted another point of view on X. That's cut 4. And this, they don't have the post. He just reposted something, and I had seen this. It's embedded in the story that Fox did. It goes quick. Here it is.
In J.D. Vance on X, one construction company owner says he's seeing a difference ever since Border Patrol has been in Louisiana.
No immigrants want to go to work, and it is so amazing. I've gotten more calls in the last week than I've gotten in the last 3 months. I got 20 calls in one day.
And agents tell me while arresting criminal illegal migrants is the priority here during the screening process, if agents find out that they're here illegally, they are also going to be arrested.
Now, all that said, cut 1. Real quick, we're not going to play the whole thing because you know the story. You know what happened today, right?
Got some breaking news. A judge has ordered Kilmar Abrego Garcia to be released from ICE custody immediately. CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya Galvez is back with me. So what can you tell us about this?
As you underscored, Vlad, a federal judge in Maryland has decided that the detention of Abrego Garcia by ICE is unlawful and that agency has to release him immediately. Abrego Garcia is, of course,
the Maryland man, the gang banger, the guy who was accused of bringing people in. This judge, and this is the same judge over and over again, Paula Enix, I believe her name is, over and over again. You see her in the news. Nope, you got to release him immediately. It's just amazing what liberal judges are doing to this country. James Golden, Snerdley here, fastest hour in American media. Keep it right here. Do not go away.
Rush. This is the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Snerdley.
The Rush Hour with James Golden. Entertaining and informative.
On the Red Apple Podcast Network.
It's the Rush Hour with James Golden.
Goes by the pseudonym Snerdley.
Rush. Now here's James Golden.
Okay, there's a new law here in Illinois as of today that allows people to sue immigration officers if they believe their constitutional rights were violated. It also bars ICE from being within 1,000 feet of courthouses, daycare centers, hospitals, and university campuses.
You know what's amazing to me is that these leftists apparently didn't study civics or history or anything. Do they not understand that the states don't run the federal government? That the federal government is actually not required to get the state's permission to conduct law enforcement in any area of this country? But that's Pritzker. That's what some of these Democrats are doing. Mondami in New York basically gave a video course on how people can help obstruct, how they can obstruct ICE. I mean, these Democrats are just, I've never seen anything like this. And I hope that this becomes one of the issues as we move into this election year. Ben Shapiro, by the way, I want to point out, had a great point. What he's saying is, hey, there are some landmines here that Republicans are ignoring, and Democrats are really making strides to hone in their message for 2026. We'll talk, maybe we'll get to that. On this day in 1964, Sam Cooke was shot dead at Hacienda Motel in Los Angeles. The hotel manager claims Sam Cooke had attacked her. That was 1964. What a great singer. I just also want to mention today's Darryl Jones' birthday. Plays with the Stones since Bill Wyman, but he also played with so many others. Sting, Peter Gabriel, Madonna, Eric Clapton, all that. Ravi Shankar also passed away. One of the great guitarists in the world, the father of Nora Jones and his daughter, I don't know whether you're familiar with her, Anushka Shankar, who was just an amazing musician. Anyway, we got to go. May God bless, protect each and every single one of you, your families, your loved ones. Love and gratitude for your being here with me, allowing me to be with you. God willing, we are back tomorrow for the Already It's Friday edition of Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. Until then, my friends, I bid you adieu. Bye.
Thanks for listening to Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour. You can hear Bo Snerdley's Rush Hour weekdays at 4 on 77 WABC. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
Looking for financial insights you can trust?
How do you protect yourself as an investor? What's the strategy?
I think it's really simple. I think you just want to be diversified in your portfolio.
The Payne family brings real-world experience to every conversation.
Well, I think that's the problem right now is, right, a lot of people that are close to retirement, they're taking so much risks. And if we do get a big sell-off, it could derail their retirement.
Listen to the Payne Points of Wealth on the Red Apple Podcast Network.